like it's been quite a while since we've unboxed a good old-fashioned Cars background character here on the channel. So many of my recent reviews have been of character variants. With the Race and Rescue line, nearly every car this year has been a variant. We also have the new color changers that I've been reviewing and several other items that I've recently gotten that are variants of pre-existing characters. So it's really nice to have a new character in my collection, especially a new background character. This is Benny Brakedrum, and he's a pretty fun one. Released in 2015, he's a Piston Cup fan SUV, meaning he was released as part of the deluxe line. He's a pretty interesting case because he's an exact repaint of Murphy, one of the Sarge's boot camp members. And he's in kind of an awkward position because he is an SUV who's just a blank generic color, but he's not part of Sarge's boot camp. He's just a regular background character, and honestly, that's really fun. So many of the deluxes that we've gotten over the years have been significant things. You know, if something's a deluxe, usually there's something kind of big or special about it. No, Benny Brakedrum's just a big, normal car. And honestly, that's really nice. He's an item that's not all that expensive, so I asked for him for Christmas last year, and I got him. And now, 11 months later, we're finally here reviewing him. Your time has come, Benny Brakedrum. Welcome. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another review, and to another Christmas haul review. We're getting very close to the end here, which is great. Hopefully I can finish it by this Christmas. After Benny Brakedrum, the final item we have to take a look at is Constanza della Corsa. But today, of course, we're taking a look at Benny here. Like I said before, he was released in 2015, if you couldn't already tell, from the Daredevil Garage app logo planted there on his packaging. Benny looks pretty uncomfortable, as you can see. We've got the Race Fans logo here. This was a line that started back in 2014. And in 2014, they released exclusively Cars 2 background characters, which is why the logo is Guido's sort of race fan look from Cars 2. We're kind of inspired by it, and why the background is the World Grand Prix track with fans behind it. They did World Grand Prix fans in 2014 and Cars 1 fans in 2015, and they just didn't alter the packaging there. Something similar happened with the McQueen's Pit Crew line in 2014-2015. Deluxe label there. He was number, let's see, that is 9 out of 9 in the series. Deluxes were, I believe, always listed last. Fans cheer on their favorite racers in the seaside town of Porto Corsa, home to the second race of the World Grand Prix. Yeah, again, they didn't alter it. On the back of the packaging, you can see Matthew True Blue McCrew, Timothy Two Stroke, Marty Breakburst, and Kit Revster. I have these two, and I've reviewed them in the past. I don't think I have Marty. Marty's so generic. He's one of the items I kind of forgot. I also don't have Kit, who I do want to get my hands on someday because he has a pretty fun item. And I believe Kit Revster was also an uncanceled release, right? Speaking of uncanceled releases, Benny Brakedrum was actually an uncanceled release as well. He was one of many, many items that was supposed to come out back in 2010, but was canceled thanks to Cars 2 being in development at that time. But he was uncanceled in 2015. So many items from 2010 that were canceled have been uncanceled in years since. Most recently, Bertha Butter's wagon, just in 2022. Now, we can add Benny to our collections just like that. So here he is out of the package, and he has a pretty funny, interesting facial expression. I don't know how to describe it. Shock, caution. I'd say caution here on the card back, but here, like, I don't know, it does a decent job at emulating the face. It's just a strange face to make. I don't know. Benny's like one of those items where I don't think they ever thought that he would get merchandise. As for where he is in the movie, this is one of those cars where genuinely I wasn't sure. I thought he was in the mosh pit, but I think I was getting him confused with Swift Alternator. He actually appears here in this sort of panning shot of the crowd. Kind of a similar case to Johnny and Jamie, where it is a super obscure character, but he gained some recognition in the early days of the Cars series because he was one of the background characters selected for the Car Finder game. As you can see, the face he's making is pretty similar to the face being done on the diecast here. It's obvious the diecast was made to emulate that face. Here he is. This is his Car Finder art. Yeah, that is a almost exactly perfect match, and it's fun to see that his character artwork is not only a higher quality render, it's also making a bit of a different face, but one that is still in line for this guy. So yeah, Benny's very much a case of just like background character making a weird face ends up getting merchandise, which is, I don't know, pretty fun and funny to me. Like I said before, Benny is just a straight up repaint of Murphy, but with a new face. Considering he was originally supposed to come out in 2010, he actually has a mouth plate and a separate eye plate since cars were segmented at the time. He is using that older original Murphy mold. Of course, Murphy came back again in 2018 with a new mold, which reinforced the little roof rack there and also made him a unibody, combining the eyes and mouth, making him all one solid piece. Unfortunately, that change wasn't done for Benny since he came out a few years before that. I wanted to compare Benny to my original Murphy, but for whatever reason, my original Murphy is just missing, and I legitimately don't know why. Like, I've never, at least not recently, used that in a video, because why would I use my old Murphy? It's inferior to the updated one, and also the roof rack is broken. They just swing around loosely. They're both connected by just one peg. So I don't know what happened. I'm starting to think that it might be the notorious 2009 Murphy Snatcher, who I've heard about all over on the news, going around stealing people's original Murphy diecasts. If you have an original Murphy diecast, you may want to lock your doors, hide your Murphys, hide your Charlie Cargos. You know, they may be after you next. And I'm afraid I may have fallen victim to that. So, that's not very good. Or maybe he just fell off my shelf. I'm not sure. Regardless, I couldn't find him in time for the review. But just know that, yeah, this guy looks just like that original Murphy, as you can see from this nifty image from Take 5 a Day that I pulled up. They also do have different grills, though, since, of course, the grill and the mouth are both part of the mouth plate. Yeah, they do have different grills, which is accurate to how Benny appears in the film. He's a pretty interesting color. I guess you could call it kind of like an orange, maybe like a cream color. I don't know. It's definitely a pretty interesting look. He has some nice kind of fun squash proportions. It's pretty typical for a Cars 1 background character, right? A lot of Cars 1 background characters were done in a bit of a more exaggerated way. Again, we got those looser roof racks. A shame it took until 2018 to reinforce those, because those do snap off fairly easily from my experience. On the back, we got his license plate, which reads TWK 983. I'm going to assume that's the same as Murphy's. No, but they both start with TWK, so that's some nice continuity there. He's also more detailed than Murphy here, with his handle being painted. He also has more detailed tail lights with the decal there, instead of them just being painted one solid color. Pretty interesting. Unless that is something that was on the original Murphy, removed on the 2018 version, maybe. I highly doubt that's the case, but I don't know. Perhaps that was. Let's pull up an image of the original Murphy again, because tragedy has befallen mine. Let's see. What does BDD have for Murphy? No, I was right. He just is more detailed than Murphy. There is a look at the other side. And finally, there is a look at the base. It's really fun to have a background SUV that's not part of Sarge's boot camp, but being the exact same mold as one of them, and also having a pretty nervous face, I think he could fit in just fine, which is good, because I'm going to need someone to replace my 2009 Murphy. I'm going to call the police. Something needs to be done. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching this review. Like I said before, always nice to add a new background character to my collection, and this one being a deluxe background character makes him pretty fun and different. Let me know what you think about this item down in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Bye now.